today's video, I'm going to talk about how YouTube sponsored videos work. I'm sure you've been watching a YouTube video before from a creator and the person has said, hey, this video is brought to you by insert brand name, or this video is brought to you by Jean Wandimi, assuming my brand name is that, or this video is sponsored by, or they calmly like show like, oh, today I am drinking this wine, or I'm doing this. There's so many types of sponsored videos on YouTube, and I want to bring to you the process. This will be interesting for a brand who is willing to sponsor influencers or creatives, but you don't know how to work with them. And this will also be interesting for a creative or an influencer who is getting started on YouTube but doesn't know how brand sponsorships work. Today we're going to specifically talk about YouTube videos, sponsored YouTube videos. We're not going to talk about Instagram, Twitter, or the rest, but we're going to talk about YouTube videos. And I want to go through the process of when a brand approaches you, or when you start approaching the brand, to when you get paid. So this whole process takes part in a series of different steps. So let's start from the top. The first step for a YouTube video to be sponsored is for the creator, who is the YouTuber, maybe me, to get in touch with a brand. This can be in two ways. The first way is a brand will approach you, which is the best way possible, and the next one is you approach the brand. Most times, especially if you live in a country whose creator and brand ecosystem is not so developed as it is like in the Western world. For example, in Kenya, you would have to actually go the extra mile to approach the brand. There's nothing wrong to approach a brand as long as whatever you're offering is in line with what the brand is also about. So for example, I don't think, for example, if I talk about wine, I would go and approach a bicycle brand. It doesn't tie into anything that I talk about. So make sure before you approach the brand as a creator that it is in line with what you want to talk about, and you know, and you have a way to seamlessly integrate or incorporate what the brand is about into your content. The second way, as I said, is a brand approaches you. Maybe somebody in the brand, somebody who works with a brand, like a brand manager or influencer manager, has seen your work and has decided, hey, I like what Jean does and I think she would be a good person to talk about our product. So a brand can reach out to you directly through one of their brand managers, or they can reach out to you through help of an influencer platform. Something like Webfluential, for example, in Africa, is something that's very common to reach out to influencers for brand creator partnerships. So once they reach out to you, they tell you we want to work with you, or once you reach out to them and you tell them that I want to work with you, the next step is now the meeting. In the meeting, you're going to discuss, it can be an online or a physical meeting. You can meet with a brand representative or the influencer marketing company. And also for you, you can also have a manager. So your manager can go in place of you, or you could go in yourself. I know this is all confusing, but sometimes it can be four parties. So there can be a brand here, there can be the influencer company, there can be your manager, and there can be you, or you could meet directly with a brand. There's so many ways that this relationship can go, regardless of who you are, whether you have a manager or not. This, at the end of the day, you're going to meet to discuss and see what exactly does the creator do, what exactly does the brand do. Are the two things aligned? What will the campaign be about? What is this person gonna bring to the table? What is the brand expecting from the creator? The brand is expecting a creator to talk about their products, to show a way to use their products, to hype up their products, to just shout out their products, to try and give a review of their product. There's so many ways that you can do a sponsored video. So when you meet and discuss, this is more like a brainstorm kind of thing. And the best case scenario is when the brand already has a budget set, they already have a concept set, and they're just coming to you as a creator to execute it. And you'll decide, this doesn't work with me, or hey, can we change here, or nah, this doesn't really work with me, or I am actually willing to do this. So there's so many ways this can go, but at the end of the day, this is a negotiation, and you have to decide and discuss like, hey, I want this, I want that, this is what we have, this is what I have. So the best case scenario, I said, is when a brand comes to you with a good budget for you and good deliverables, and through that you just sign and go on. But then in most cases, brands don't even know how much they want to charge you. You know, they're looking for the least amount to charge you. For example, I have noticed, like with some of Kenyan brands, is like they would pay one person something because they asked for higher, but if you don't ask for a higher amount, they'll just pay you what you asked for. So you have to really also know what is the market rate for this specific type of engagement, and you also have to have done your own due diligence about your value of the hours and how much you charge for, say, a sponsored video. How much is this video gonna cost you? I do have like a consultation on media kit and service development where we talk about that, and I help you to know how to price yourself and how to even negotiate, so that when you go with brands, when you go talk to brands, you're not like confused on what you're going to ask. The third thing is now the contract. There has to be a contract in this brand and influencer engagement. Unfortunately, it cannot be on trust, because trust me, it has happened to me and I've lost a lot of money because I did not sign a contract. Yeah, make sure you sign a contract, and make sure you insist on a contract if there is some sort of exchange that is going to happen. That contract should have the amount of money, the deliverables, the hours, every single detail. How long will the content last after you post it? All those single details should go in a contract. And please, if you're an influencer, make sure you take time to really go through the contract. Yes, your manager can go through the contract for you, but at the end of the day, it's your name on the line, it's your handle on the line, it's your work and your brand on the line. So make sure you yourself ask for the contract to go through it, then negotiate with your manager. Or if you don't have a manager, just ask for the contract, ask for a day to go through it. If it's a complicated contract, look for a lawyer to just help you go through it if there's some technical like jargon and terms that you don't understand. So don't sign something that you don't understand. And as I've said, make sure the most things that are involved there are the terms and conditions, how long will the content last, that is the duration, what are the deliverables, what are the payment terms, what is the payment, how much will you be paid, is it in dollars? All those things should be in the contract, and make sure there are no typos, your name is correctly labeled, and all those things. So when you take time to review the contract, give yourself a few days, go back and sit down and decide, okay, these guys want me to post a whole video, 2 minutes talking about their brand, or they want me to do this sort of video. Is this something I'm willing to do? Really, don't overpromise and underdeliver. Make sure that whatever you sign, because once you sign on the dotted line, I'm sorry, there's no going back. So make sure before you sign, this is something you can do. And there's nothing wrong to say no to a company that doesn't align to your brand or who you are or your values. If, let's say, a brand is telling you to do something that really doesn't align with your core values, you can say no. I mean, you don't have to be bought with money. I know times are tough. There are very little brand deals because there are also very many creators. But at the end of the day, I always believe in what's for you is for you, and you will definitely get something worth your while. So now you have decided that, oh, I love this contract, or you've seen something that needs to be amended. Just communicate with the brand, and they're always willing to change a few things. The best thing is that during this process, nobody has the upper hand. I know during this negotiation process, companies make you feel like, oh, we have the upper hand, we're the ones giving you the money. But unfortunately, you also have the upper hand because you're also bringing them value. So it's a kind of win-win situation. So never feel pressured to do something that you don't want to do. At the end of the day, this is a win-win situation. I can tell you for a fact, when I used to negotiate my blogging contracts, or when I used to negotiate my blogging sponsorships, I used to feel like the brand are doing me a favor by working with me. But that mindset will only get you quote unquote screwed over. So make sure you really like know your worth and you're asking for your worth. So anyway, assuming that the contract is good now, you've already reviewed it with the brand has included what they want you to do, and you also like all the terms and conditions, you're happy to sign now, and it's time for you to just review and sign it and send it to the brand. And also a brand will send you the countersigned copy. So it's not only about your signature being on the line, it's also their signature being on the line, because you're both, it's a barter kind of agreement. So once you receive the signed copy, keep a copy for yourself, or your management will keep it for you, and then the work will commence. Sometimes before signing of the contracts, a brand will ask you to send concepts of work. Some brands maybe want to see how you can work together, so you might have to actually send them some few details of, this is what I want to do in a video. I want to include 2 seconds of your video. I want to include a product shot on my set. I want to talk about your service. I want to give a review. There's so many ways you can work in a brand. I'm going to be doing a video on that, so stay tuned for that. But you definitely will have to pitch to the brand, this is how I plan to incorporate your product. Say for example, a wine brand reaches out to me and they want to work with me on a sponsored video. I would be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do a wine talk session. I'm gonna introduce your wine, talk about it, and then continue to talk about what I'm talking about. or I'm going to, you know, like include a shot of the wine here in my backdrop and talk about what I'm talking about. It can be subtle, it can be loud, it can be pronounced. It all depends with your style of content. So once you do that and the brand approves, now it's up to you to go back as a creator and shoot the content, prepare the content, and funny enough, send it back to the brand. So some brands will want to see a video before it goes live, because unfortunately, like written content, video content cannot be edited once it is live. That's the worst thing with video content. I remember I once did a very nice like wine review of some program that was a wine program, and then they told me to take it down. So crazy. They were like, oh, edit this part, and I was like, unfortunately for videos I cannot edit parts. So they were like, okay, then take it down. So I had to take down the whole video. So for brands, I feel like for sponsored videos, it's always good to really plan yourself as a creator. Don't really promise that by Wednesday next week I'll have a video live, because think about shooting, think about conceptualizing, think about editing, storyboarding, and now sending it to the brand for them to approve. And you know, sometimes brands take so long to approve stuff. So I feel like for me, I always give a good buffer. I've not really worked with brands a lot on sponsored posts. Most of the brands I've worked with, it's been on blogging and also on social media, but I'm looking forward to do more video sponsorships. So whenever you do your video, you have to send it to the brand, and they'll tell you, oh, on minute 4 or 5 I didn't like what you explained, can you cut this out? So this is how you do it. And the best thing about YouTube can allow you to upload an unlisted video. What they mean by unlisted is this video can only be viewed by somebody who has the unique link of that video. So nobody in the internet can access your video unless they have the link. So you can be able to upload your video as private or unlisted, actually not private but unlisted, send it to the brand. They can be able to review and they can say, we don't like this. And if you want to reshoot it, unfortunately sometimes people have been told to reshoot videos. You know, I used to wonder why YouTubers and vloggers keep saying, I have this work with a brand, unfortunately the video will not go live because the brand hasn't approved. I really never used to understand what they mean, but now I do. Sometimes brand will even ask for a video 4 and 5 times. So you have to have good internet, upload the video quickly, make the edits, send them until they feel like, oh, the video is good. Because unfortunately, if it's a sponsored video, you have to actually send it to the brand because they have paid for it. So once the video is back and we are live and it's time for you to post the video, then you can go on social media and start telling people that I have a new video. So those are some of the steps, and then they will pay you depending on your payment terms. Sometimes brands will pay you like 50% before, others will pay you 50% after. It's all about what your management or the influencer company or the brand company has talked about or you have asked for as payment terms. Some people ask for a certain amount of money because I don't want to put up a video and then the brand refuses to pay me. But I feel like nowadays when the contract is there, at least you're a bit protected. Sometimes your money might take a while to come back, but at the end of the day you are a bit protected. The other thing you need to remember as a creator is to disclose that your videos are sponsored. Even in your contract, make sure that when you're talking with the brand, tell them that I'm gonna say that this video is sponsored. Nowadays it's very essential for you to disclose when a video is sponsored. You can do this through the native YouTube scheduler. When you're scheduling your video, there's a part like a small check mark that you check, and whenever your video is posting, they will see that this video is sponsored, or you can include something in your description box. So it all depends with what the brand wants, but it's always good to disclose and also tell the brand that you're going to disclose that this video is sponsored. Yeah, and then after, now it's about answering any questions that people have about the brand. People might have questions about the brand, like, hey, you use this on your skin, tell me more about the brand. So include every important detail on the description box. Answer every question. It's up to you if you're running a sponsored video to also answer questions that they have on the brand, or the brand may take that active role to actually answer those questions. So guys, that's how sponsorships of videos work in 2021. And I'm also gonna do a subsequent videos on 5 types of sponsored ads or 5 types of sponsored videos, so that you can understand, if let's say a brand has approached you to work with them on a sponsored video, how are you gonna do it? Do you have to talk about the brand? How do you incorporate the brand in your own kind of style of videos. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that in the next video. Let me know if there's something I left out. Fact check me down below, because I have to say I am from Kenya and this is how maybe I've noticed things are going here, as well as the global field, but things might be different out there. But let me know down below if, let's say, in your country things are different, or if you have any questions. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. Bye.